Yes, if you want the theme music of Cyrus Says, it's available at any political party headquarters, be it BJP, Congress, NCP, be it Shiv Sena, or even let's go all across the country, whether it's Telugu Desam, whether you want to go to AII, DMK, they've all got it. Everybody's got it. JDU called me up, RJD called me up. They all, wanted it and have kept it. So just get in touch with your closest political party and they will provide you with this entire album of Cyrus Says theme music, which is riveting. Okay, having said that, huge guest coming on with a very, very, he's going to be a legend if he already isn't. But before that, I want to talk about something very close to my heart because I work 2 days a week in this place called Lower Parel. I have a friend called Mangalam Malu, who on Twitter has started the revolution. Mangalam is one of the greatest financial journalists of his time. We work in the same area, not in the same area, but in the same area geographically. And he has come up with a very important study, data. And please listen. Mahalakshmi Bridge, this is about Lower Parel. Mahalakshmi Bridge dug up till race course. You can zoom or you can Google and find out all these things if you're not from Mumbai. Science Center side dug up because of metro work. Sriram Mills Road shut, nobody knows why. And Delisle Road Bridge, what's that? Because it used to be the bridge, now nobody knows what function it's got. But basically, there's no mobility in all these areas which surround Lower Parel. So he's come up with this idea, and I want to petition this forward. And please give us your feedback, especially those of you who live in the area and go through this every day, as also those who don't, because you must empathize with people around the world. So instead of Lower Parel, he's saying, can we call it S Lower Parel, as in slower Parel? I think it's a fabulous piece of intuition, and I salute you. Your pain and my pain is shared by all Parelites. As we live from Lower Parel, we have moved to Slower Parel. Mangala Malu, a name to remember. He's going to be one of the greats of our time. Speaking of which, this man is definitely a great of our time. And if he hasn't received the Padma Vibhushan, the Padma's friends and family, he should and he will. Where do we start? Mudit, welcome to the show. Mudit Dandwate, CEO and co-founder of Dozee. Mudit is, by the way, in Barcelona. He's doing this show from Barcelona, Spain. We just found out offline 2 minutes ago that it's 5:30 odd in the morning. And poor chap was there half an hour before, ready, smiling and happy. So I don't know, maybe the Spanish food sucks. I don't know. But Mudit, our apologies firstly, really. And only my team will have no idea where the guest is. So 10 baje, no problem. You'll be awake, no? Nobody knowing that it's actually 5:30. Firstly, what are you doing in Barcelona right now?
So, hey, thanks a lot for inviting to the show. And firstly, I have to say, right, your the entry music, right, amazing. I never thought I'll get to an entry music like that ever. That was amazing. And
listen, you can just say कि बहुत खराब है, बहुत गंदा है. You can just be open. आज is a very open show.
मेरा बचपन का सपना था ऐसे एंट्री म्यूजिक पे आना, right? So
yeah, you felt like the heroes. It's horrible because not only is it terrible music, but then the hero is me and you. So it's just all wrong what we're giving the people.
Correct. It sets the wrong expectation for sure.
Absolutely.
So yeah, regarding Barcelona, it's chill. मतलब मुझे generally जल्दी उठने की आदत है, right? But I like this time. It's typically my time. Wife is sleeping, right? So I can and I have come over here for my anniversary. तो of course मैं आपको दोपहर का टाइम नहीं दे सकता था. तो I think early morning was the best I could have given.
What the hell logic is that? दोपहर का time? Oh, अच्छा, you mean with the wife you'll be spending quality time?
Correct.
अच्छा, stupid me. I have 21 years of marriage. There's no such thing as quality time with the wife. So I forgot that whole issue.
नहीं, around anniversary you can't risk it, Cyrus.
At least you remembered. I actually this time for the first time I actually forgot it. Because so many things happening.
अभी 2 साल
हो गए ना, तो मेरा 21 साल हो गया. So I'm giving you 10 years at least as buffer. After 10 you start that, then you'll keep that automatic thing on your phone, and hopefully you'll pick up the phone. That's the problem. You'll see the notification. Yeah, na. This is not fair. Yeah. Men are getting away because of these notifications. This is not fair at all. up to my generation, we have had to suffer because memory loss. The first thing you forget about are the wife's dates and the anniversary and the mother-in-law's name. You have to put little name cards down with each relative. Mudit,
Correct.
there's lots to talk about. We can't waste time doing my rubbish conversation. Let's start first at the top here. You and your team at Dozee. First, tell us what Dozee is all about. It's a mission to simplify and transform healthcare for millions in India. It's launched in 2019. That's just before the pandemic. You take over and tell us what that is, because it's like a breakthrough piece of both technology and the fact that it's got such a strong social wing. Mudit.
Correct. So Doji is a technology that converts any bed into a continuous health monitor like a step down ICU in a fraction of a cost in less than 2 minutes. Not just
Wow.
that, it basically reduces the burden on very overburdened nursing staff, healthcare professionals, and so on. And the great part is although we started with hospitals and upgrading beds over there in this entire pandemic time where India was lacking the critical care capacity, but ये घर पे भी use हो सकता है, right? So even since we do know, right, that there's a large burden of chronic illness patient, old age population, so all of them can be given quality care now, right? And that's the idea. So India
It's a
में
fabulous.
कैसे best, yeah,
Mudit, it's just, I'm just thinking, because I have an ailing father, and I know all my people in my age group, their parents and seniors around them are not in great shape. I'm just thinking, this such a big country, this idea of yours should be one of the most important ideas in our country, because it's impossible. The infrastructure cannot cope, and as you go down the financial ladder, a lot of people cannot. There's no question.
correct,
I hate to say this, but you can't afford to live in India when things go wrong. I mean, this is a terrible thing to say, but it's true.
correct,
And then what you come up with is just a fabulous idea. I'm thinking, because the only way we can actually take care of these problems with aged and old people, no, that's wrong, with
correct,
our own elders and ourselves, is if it can come home, if we can do it from home, sort of, because it's impossible
correct.
to put. Yeah. How do you come up with the idea,
No,
first and
and
foremost, before we talk about the technology?
so idea. So I'll come to that part. लेकिन मुझे एक और चीज शेयर करनी थी. See,
बताइए
also what
सर.
is very important since you were mentioning that कि see old age और जब chronic illness है, say heart condition है, अब है तो है, right? You can't you have to live with that, right, for a long time, right? And अभी the medical infrastructure has at least gone there कि people live for longer, quality बहुत कम हो जाती है लेकिन, right? And
Hmm.
that's where our technology focuses on this, that it is a contactless technology, तो ये mattress के नीचे जाता है, it doesn't even touch the person's body and does the monitoring of heart, respiration, and अगर कोई भी
Okay.
problem है तो तुरंत escalate करता है, right? So see, at the end of
अध्यापक
it,
जी, एक प्रश्न. It doesn't touch
yeah,
the body means?
it goes under the mattress, right? तो आपसे वो
Oh,
contact में नहीं है, right?
right.
So it's a thin sheet of
It's
fabric
like
kind
me
of
in
a
the
thing that
bedroom.
you
It's like
place.
me in the bedroom. हाँ, समझ गया अभी. हाँ. No
Right.
contact.
So now
हाँ.
coming to technology piece, right? That how does it work? So it has three major components. First is the sensing part, क्योंकि ये contact में नहीं है body के. So it basically works. It monitors vibrations. So every time your heart is pumping blood, every time you're breathing, inhaling, exhaling, even जब आपके tiny heart wall movements are happening, right? Smallest of them, they travel through the mattress like tiny vibrations, बहुत micro vibrations, and this device captures that, converts it into signals, और वो फिर हमारा AI and deep learning algorithms इसको different biomarkers में convert करता है, which we continuously which these algorithms continuously monitor, and then escalate if there are any kind of concerning trends, right? So information ज्यादा मिलती है, number one, and information meaning time पर मिलती है, right? And that
तुरंत
is
मिलते
what
हैं. हाँ.
always matters for doctors, right? And see, now we have reached at least that stage in medical and healthcare setup, if you actually bring patient in time, things can be saved, right? मतलब early phases
Correct.
में you can manage them at much lower cost, और मेरे ख्याल से तो that is the way you can manage healthcare and maintain a very high quality of life, right, for people for very long time. That's the
So
idea.
the big question here comes. Of course, I have a list of people I don't want to live longer, but I don't suppose this is
Yeah.
the right time to bring that up, because that's another story, and you need another AI for that,
Correct.
which hopefully you'll not use your
Yeah.
great brain for yet. But coming back to this is the big question. what about cost to company then? Because that's the second part of the issue. One issue, you crack the technology, let's say, and you're right कि सही time पे आ गया, जानकारी मिल गया, तो you can do something with it, and that's all. Hopefully
Correct.
that'll happen. What is the cost?
So cost is much lower, right? So आज के setup से almost 1/10 the cost it is,
One
right?
tenth.
So that means that 1/10. So in how much you can
Wow.
actually do an ICU setup in one bed, right? In that much you can upgrade 10 beds today in with Dozee. So imagine that is exactly the challenge that
I
we
can
have
only
today.
speak about Mumbai because I know the Mumbai pricing and the hospitals, the middle class hospitals and above. I'm not even going to the five-star ones. It's not,
Correct.
you can't afford it. I've just got so many stories from people around me. We work with all types of people. And even, I mean,
Correct.
it's just people are more worried now about what the cost to company will be rather than what the cost to the relative is in the sense. Because that's like a
Correct.
double
Correct.
attack happening. And let's face it, we live in a
Correct.
world where we can't run away from this situation. So here's my point, and I'm calling the health ministry right now, and I will talk to them right now except I don't know who the health minister is, but I'm sure he'll come on the line once I call him. They have to subsidize this even further. They take the burden of
Yeah.
the entrepreneur. That's what key societies do. The ones that are, visionary and looking forward and humanitarian. So वो मैं करूँगा. You don't worry. This is my gift to Mudit because your gift is to
बिल्कुल सर.
humanity. Correct? How sweet of you to humor me. Say बिल्कुल.
बिल्कुल. कीजिए कीजिए.
Okay.
Any help is appreciated.
But
Yeah.
jokes apart, I'm just wondering why. I mean, they have to do this, yeah. Because the moment you have the older relatives or you yourself as an older person, you understand what you've done is like it's like something that really we need desperately. Because otherwise, there's no
No,
way to.
definitely Cyrus. So my parents, right, they live in Nagpur और मैं
Mhm.
बैंगलोर में हूँ, right? और जैसे अभी बार्सिलोना में हूँ, right? So how should I live peacefully when I know that they are diabetic, they are hypertensive, and so on. And in amidst crisis like COVID, right? अभी in wave 2, my parents got COVID. In that, the only way actually I could sleep with peace was because of this, right? तो मेरे पैसे तो वसूल हो चुके हैं because I got myself impacted because of this. And now whatever I'm doing is actually कि अब जो मुझे feel हुआ है, I just want to spread it out. With this piece of technology, it is actually possible. So yeah,
No, and it has to give hope to the country as a whole because we are living in too many different worlds. Some people can afford this and some people can't. End of the day,
correct,
everybody has a father or a mother or a grandfather, grandmother, whatever it is, and the human
correct.
emotion is the same and the cost of the human spirit is the same. So we have, I think what you've done, honestly, if you do not get all the awards available, Padmas and above, then I will leave the country. I'm giving a country six
नहीं नहीं
months to count for this.
so
No, because
it's not about
this is
awards, Cyrus. It's more about ये हर जगह पहुंचना चाहिए, right? That is the dream, right? Healthcare बहुत simple हो जाए. I think that is more
well,
and
you've
much
come to the
bigger
wrong.
award
You've
for me.
you've come to the wrong podcast because we won't be able to propagate anything. Nobody listens, yeah. So sorry
कोई
to
बात
waste
नहीं.
your time. But anyway, no, I really hope the government puts their hand up also. And I mean, central government as well as state governments, with various states have more money, so some have less, whatever, just to help the situation on a local basis as well. Where all of us, and please, people who are listening, you all have elder people if in your lives, even if you yourself are not affected directly. It is just unbelievably tragic how ill affordable it is and how long it takes to get things done. Go to the hospital, get
Correct.
what Mudit has done is fabulous. I mean, literally 5 seconds, 5 seconds में वो information आप पहुंच सकते हैं अस्पताल तक. I mean, to the lab or wherever you need to also. So you
Yeah.
can escalate the whole, accelerate the whole process ASAP. So fantastic, Mudit.
Secondly,
Your
Cyrus, without even going to hospital, your information is reaching your hospital every day, even when you are
that's
at
what.
home.
That's
So,
what. Because let's
यही,
face it,
right?
hospital
So you
food
are
बहुत
always
खराब है.
connected
We
to
don't want to send them
patient.
there. हाँ.
मैं ये
It
नहीं
really
बोलूंगा
is.
हम हमारा काम करते हैं
Mudit,
आप उनके.
नहीं. It's really bad. Someone, let's talk about the elephant in the room. यार, ये बहुत खराब है. I mean, there's no hospital where you can.
कुछ
I
कुछ
mean,
हॉस्पिटल में बहुत अच्छा है, मतलब मुझे तो अच्छा
हाँ,
लगता है. मैं कुछ कुछ जगह
दे दो
आपको
ना. I
खाना
want to
पड़ेगा.
check myself in tomorrow.
आपको इडली सांभर खाना चाहिए, कुछ हॉस्पिटल्स में की कैंटीन
Idli
में बहुत
sambar,
अच्छा
if it's
होता
not made correctly, I will close the hospital down because these are smaller dishes. You have to make them well. You cannot just tell me you have idli. Dosa, for example, if it's not
करेक्ट.
crisp, I don't eat it.
हाँ.
I tell the doctor I'd rather die. Give me whatever you know. What is that word? Euthanize me as soon as possible. This dosa, soggy. I'm sorry, Baba. The food upgrade. That's another story for another day. So I'll leave it for now. That's not yet your department, though I'm sure you can come up with some app sooner or later. Okay, now let's go back and look at your life, sir. It's a very interesting life. IIT to begin with. let's go back to your IIT days, because you're quite the pioneer inventor. There's so many things that you have made, and hopefully we'll have time to get into some of them at least. So let's go back to the IIT days and all. Tell us what you were like, what you wanted to do, and before you became this entrepreneur visionary that you are today.
So I was a very bright, wide-eyed kid, I would say, right? और मुझे
Self tarif,
नहीं नहीं
unbelievable. You don't need me.
वो सच है, वो सच है। सच
Such
सच
to such
छुपता
hai.
नहीं है,
Such
राइट?
ka samna.
हाँ, तो
Fair enough. Yeah.
तो बेसिकली इवन बिफोर आईआईटी एज वेल, राइट, मुझे कार्स बहुत पसंद थी। तो माय आई यूज्ड टू आस्क माय डैड हु वाज एन इंजीनियर इन दूरदर्शन एंड आकाशवाणी। मुझे बहुत फैसिनेटिंग लगता था व्हाट
Wow.
ही यूज्ड टू डू, राइट? सो उनसे मैं पूछता था कि मुझे कार्स बनानी है, तो ये कैसे पॉसिबल है, right? So his always very Indian parent answer, right? And he played his card very well, and I have to give him that. उन्होंने बोला कि बॉस, अगर आपको कार बनानी है तो आपको आईआईटी बॉम्बे जाना पड़ेगा, राइट? वहां पे आपको कार बनाने मिलेगा।
So
तो
you
मैंने
were
बोला
this
ठीक
smart
है।
that you didn't understand the googly your father sent, move the ball the other way. Fabulous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very young, right? So तब
Uh,
से I made one dream which was there to go to IIT Bombay mechanical engineering, and that's what I cracked. When I went, of course, there was so then I found a team which was there, right, which was very recently formed, and they used to make and build these cars. Somehow it also, matlab, luckily everything fell into place. It was my dream. So I joined that. हमने in our 4 years we actually made 4 full-scale race cars, including some all-terrain vehicles, some electric race cars, including India's first electric race car as well. And it was quite a car, right? It used to, and I used to be lead pilot as well of that, driver
and
rather. So
you all have this robotics event or tournament also, no? It's famous in IIT Mumbai, where they
हाँ,
have all these
correct.
they actually contests and
Tech
all that.
tech
Tech
fest
contest,
वगैरह,
tech fest. Yeah.
करेक्ट।
Uh, but
हाँ हाँ, मतलब वो होते थे, बट मुझे वो इतने प्रैक्टिकल नहीं लगते थे। मुझे लगता था कि ये ठीक है, मतलब ये रोबोट्स वगैरह बनाए हैं, कुछ कर रहा है वो, उससे अच्छा कुछ सॉल्व होना चाहिए हमेशा। मतलब व्हेन आई एम
so that
पुटिंग
was
माय
more.
एनर्जी, कुछ तो उसका निकले, मतलब आउटकम।
Fair enough. So that was more mazak
सो
masti, and that also is part of the appeal. But yours was already looking
करेक्ट,
at utility product, which will give the society some
करेक्ट,
benefit. So you're too good for our
करेक्ट।
country. We have to send you abroad and keep you there. Um, but you made the first electric car. You're saying electric sports car. Can you just
इलेक्ट्रिक
explain that
रेस कार,
exactly?
इलेक्ट्रिक रेस कार।
Race car, race car. Ha.
So, so open wheel Formula One styled car, right? So हमने देखा है, and then we used to take it to Silverstone, UK, and race it with other, international
Wow.
teams. So
Yeah.
बहुत, मतलब that was my life changing moment, I would say, क्योंकि Formula One
Let me
circuit, right?
understand what
उसके
you're
main
saying.
straight पे
You
चलाना,
you just put together on your own from scratch the first electric
correct,
racing car of racing capability and capacity of international
correct,
standard that you could take to
yeah,
Silverstone and actually compete with
correct.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Bro.
and it was super fast as well, right? In fact, it was kind of dream come to Silverstone Main Straight, Jana wahan par, and then doing that lap, right? Still, I get shivers whenever I, think about it. So it was lots of fun. It taught me a lot. It based me, मतलब जो मैं engineering सीखा हूँ, whatever I have learned, how to actually apply to make products, right? And meaningful products which can be taken out in the market, that gave me that experience. Post that, I pursued that more. I joined a company which was also into mechanical simulations related to cars and automobiles and so on. Just made software AI element was there, which again the customer was similar high performance teams, and that gave me that exposure that these teams use a lot of data, right, to actually monitor health of the vehicle, and we also use a lot of vibrational sensors and so on. The idea triggered from there, right? ये डोजी का idea वहां से आता है, that basically we
Oh.
used vibration to monitor health of the vehicle जो 350 km/h से घूम रही है,
Put it in
remotely.
perspective.
Why?
Mudit, sorry to interrupt. Put it in perspective. In trying to save the car, you need to save the human being. So just to understand, the car came first,
Correct.
which you did. Sorry, go on, go on.
car came first, right? Of course. तो मैंने बोला कि so at that same time, I got exposed to a lot of other things as well, including because of some family crisis, that India का healthcare infrastructure कितना broken है, right? At that time, I was also planning कि now I'm done with this part, I have to do more, right? So I was contemplating foreign study, including my co-founder Gaurav also, हम दोनों ने अप्लाई किया था काफी जगह फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटीज में. बट वी देन थॉट दैट सी वी हैव अ ग्रेट आइडिया.
What can they teach you? They can't teach you
सीखना ही
anything.
तो है. हाँ मतलब सीखना ही है तो मार्केट से सीखते हैं, मतलब रादर देन मतलब पोथी पढ़ के. वी हैव दैट सेइंग
Exactly.
राइट, मतलब पोथी पढ़ के क्या करना है, मतलब फाइनली अंडरस्टैंड द कस्टमर एम्पैथी. आई थिंक दैट इज द बिगेस्ट थिंग दैट वी कैन गेट. एंड एट द सेम टाइम व्हाट आई ऑलवेज थॉट राइट, तो वो भी मेरे एक लाइफ चेंजिंग इवेंट वाज देयर. सो आई वाज इन जर्मनी. I thought that whatever I have done so far, it was very selfish of me. It was of pure adrenaline. What is the sheer impact it has on for anyone, right? So whatever now I want to do, I was 24 at that time. अब 10 साल के लिए जो मैं करूंगा, it should have some impact for the society. फिर वापस मैं अपने शायद फैमिली के लिए सोचूंगा, राइट? अभी मुझे फैमिली है नहीं तो कुछ सोचना नहीं है, राइट? पेरेंट्स आर डूइंग वेरी वेल, so there is nothing for me over here to lose. So I went in and we started this company together, both me and Gaurav, right? So that was the idea and thought process behind Dozee.
Yeah, we need to talk a little bit about Gaurav also. I think it's fair to mention him, but we'll come to him in a second. I want to ask you one personal question. Do you look down on people like me and Aam Aadmi sort of people? Because, I mean, with that inventor brain, I'm just trying to think our entire life, what have we done and what will we do that can benefit even one person is negligible. And that's 95% of the human race across all cultures in the entire globe. And then you guys are at the age of 24, you've just almost like out of fun. You've not even reached that humanitarian area. That happened now. It's just almost out of fun you invent things, and it's just ridiculous how easy it is for you. And that's why when you said I want to learn more, I got scared. I said, who will teach you?
Cyrus,
Thanks.
very odd coming from you. I've always seen you as one of the most witty persons, right? And the humor and jokes that you bring in, right, has inspired generations of us, right? So
So I'm
मजा आता
responsible
था.
for this invention of Dozee.
नहीं, ये थोड़ा
10%
ज्यादा हो
equity
गया.
holder. देखा सुना सब लोग सुना. It's done. We have it on record. 10% equity because I'm the catalyst. No chemical reaction can take place without the catalyst. Yes, catalyst has played his part.
and
No,
and
but I'm
and right amount of serotonin which releases when every time you laugh, right? So you make
oh
people
wow.
do that. Yeah.
Thank God for scientific analysis that brings credibility to this point and people take it seriously. But no, I'm actually asking you sometimes. I just wonder because you're just too. I mean, just being an inventor, we grow up, we learn about inventors and these Edison type of people and all that. But when you meet someone like yourself, do you ever think, God, I'm so much sharper and so much smarter than Mr. Sharma, Mrs. Verma, Mr. Shah, Mrs. Subramaniam, all the people around you?
नहीं नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं. अभी मतलब आई ऑलवेज थिंक दैट आई एम नॉट इवन a speck of dust. अभी तो बहुत
Thank
कुछ करना
God
है,
it's
राइट?
you and not me. If I was you, I'd be so arrogant you have no idea. I'd call up people and make fun of them. I'd just give them a maths equation and laugh at them and boss,
नहीं,
unbelievable.
आई हैव वेरी हम्बलिंग फ्रेंड्स इन फैक्ट. तो वो जैसे ही थोड़ा भी उड़ो वो नीचे ले आते हैं, तो
But that's
नॉट
also
ग्रेट.
IT culture, no? Where there's a lot of self-deprecating bullying, pranks, in a fun way. I'm talking about, not about ragging, of course. That's a different story. But so that stays with you, I must say. And so many of the IIT guys, especially Mumbai IIT guys who are in corporate world at the moment, a couple of them are world famous, still retain that IIT charp. Is it fair to say?
ट्रू.
All
सॉरी
right.
अबाउट अ सोर थ्रोट अ बिट. मैंने अभी वैक्सीनेशन लिया है, सो या bit of
Don't blame the
reaction.
vaccination for Barcelona's terrible air. These third world countries, they don't understand life. Come to India, sir.
True.
Yeah, Mumbai and Delhi, the air is the best in the world. Once you can get through Mumbai, Delhi, you're immune. Your immunity is so good. Anywhere in the world is easy. You spend too much time in Bangalore, where the air is good. You please come little more towards us, and you'll see the
Yeah, I was in
difference.
Mumbai, 4 years.
There you go. So at that time, you could never have fallen sick outside Mumbai. Uh,
That is true.
Mudit, sorry, but we have to get into this. This is a very important part of the show and a very inspiring part of the show. Actually, can we talk about this? It's very personal, of course, but what happened in June 2017? I don't think people know this. You know, if you don't mind taking us through that
So,
slightly.
yeah, I don't mind, right? So, it was a life-changing event, of course, right? So that day had so बहुत stress हुआ था, of work and all that. So I decided to take a break and go थोड़ा city limits से outside and basically, go for a run along with my dogs. So we have two dogs. One is called Pi, one is called Potato. And one of these guys, Potato, the Labrador, he loves water. उसको पानी दिखा नहीं कि उसको कूदना होता है उसके अंदर, right? अभी, so he saw this lake while running, quickly jumps into that, right, without thinking anything. Of course, I was also not very worried. वो कूदता ही रहता है. He is a good swimmer. तो ठीक है, मतलब आ जाएगा वापस. But I saw that this dog started to panic a bit, and that's where I got little worried. Just one.
Take it, no problem. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We need to
So
preserve
that's
you.
where I
Huh.
so that's where I got little worried, and went into the lake. I swam to him, and that's where I realized कि why he was panicking was because a crocodile was approaching him. He might have sensed him. So I saved potato, लेकिन मतलब इस हाथ से मैंने उसको बाहर निकाल लिया, लेकिन this hand, this crocodile clutched and basically pulled me inside water entirely. And so to save myself, I literally had to break my own arm, which I did. And luckily, that break happened. I got the detachment. I came out of the water, swimming back. वो थोड़ा सा जो time I got, because crocodile went back a bit, right? So I could get back, and it could not attack me further. And yeah, so I lost my arm in that pursuit, but saved my dogs. So that
Wow.
was the incident, that happened on June
God,
27th.
now you become my hero. I can't believe it. You saved your dog and sacrificed your arm. Now there is no award I can give you. Now Nobel Prize के ऊपर जाना पड़ेगा, because saving humanity is one thing, but if you save animals, you go to another level in my estimation. Unbelievable. Oh, what a story! In such a young life of yours, so many things. But there's a second part to this whole story,
That
which
is
is
true. That is true. I'm so thankful for, such a life, I would say. Definitely. मतलब, so much doesn't happen so quickly, right? So, yeah.
I mean, your biography, we'll have to do straight away go to Netflix or Prime immediately, because I can't do a picture. I have to do a series. There's too much information here and too many things happening. What solid drama hai. Lots of drama. And I'm
वो
not
तो
just
है.
talking about this unbelievable incident you've just discussed. But let's talk about part two of that, which is then again your mind. It just shows you how the mind can overcome the body, which is not just a cliche. You then did something which not only rectified or brought your arm back to parity, but made you, I would say, even more functional. Can you tell us what that is?
So I would say उसके बाद में जो दो चीजें की, right, it really shaped me further. So number one was actually calling my parents after that, right? So एक तो I arranged for all the help and everything, because I was kind of alone at that time.
What
So
do you say?
hospital was almost 3 hours away. So I
Where were
asked
you,
some
yaar? Where did you go in Karnataka? The one, I mean, you were deep.
बैंगलोर से आप थोड़ा बैंगलोर से आप जब थोड़ा बाहर निकलते हो, आप 2-3 घंटे दूर चले जाते हो, राइट? बैंगलोर से 1 घंटा दूर बैंगलोर खुद होता है, तो
That's true.
इसीलिए.
That, yeah.
so so as in you talked about slower parallel, right? अब
Yeah,
बैंगलोर
yeah,
के
no,
आगे
no.
तो अब
Oh God, don't start me on
एयरपोर्ट.
Bangalore and airport traffic and all, boss, please. Oh, अभी pandemic का time.
करेक्ट.
Anyway, let's get back. Let's get back. So then, for
Correct.
you
Let's
went
back,
yourself.
right? So I arranged for, I stopped some people ki, can you help me get to the hospital and all that. I called up hospital. You see, something like this has happened. So I'll be coming in, so that, they arrange all the anecdotes, antidotes and everything. नहीं तो वहां जाके बोलेंगे कि है नहीं हमारे पास, ऐसा नहीं चलता है. I don't have time left, right? So I did all of that. फिर मैंने अपने पेरेंट्स को कॉल किया, बिकॉज दे शुड नॉट फिगर आउट एनीथिंग लाइक दिस, बिकॉज आई डिड नो कि ये प्रेस वगैरह में तो आएगा, और कैसे आएगा वो भी मुझे नहीं पता. सो दे शुड नॉट फील द शॉक. तो इसलिए मैंने उनको कॉल करके खुद से बताया कि देखिए ऐसा ऐसा हो चुका है, बट आई एम गुड एंड आई एम गोइंग टू रीच दिस हॉस्पिटल, राइट, एंड आई हैव अरेंज फॉर दीज थिंग्स, एंड डोंट वरी, आई एम गुड. फिर उस शाम को, फिर व्हेन आई रीच्ड हॉस्पिटल, आई रीच्ड आईसीयू, आई मेरा पहला सर्जरी हुआ. आफ्टर दैट I made a design of my own arm उस शाम को ही, for myself कि
I don't know whether to
so
laugh or to
we
cry. Go on.
so, so basically, my always, somehow the attitude has been कि ठीक है, मतलब there is a problem, but what is the solution, right? मतलब we should have plan A, B, C, D ready, right? मतलब ठीक है, I lost an arm, I can't do anything about it by, worrying about it, crying. जो भी होना था हो चुका. अब मतलब डॉक्टर आज की आम कहाँ है, मतलब डू यू हैव इट? तो मैं बोला नहीं, वो तो गया, क्रोकोडाइल खा लिया है वो. फॉरगेट अबाउट इट, हमें नया कुछ करना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो आइडिया इज दैट अब मैं क्या करूं? So I made a design. Within 3 months, we had built up a new arm, and this is the arm as well now that you see over here.
Oh, it's just Mudit, I don't know what to say. Really speechless. What kind of courage it would take? I mean, don't answer this. I'm just talking aloud. Courage to go through this and then to go on your own. Literally, like it's like Rambo, bro. It's like one of those things you see in one of those Bollywood productions. In one of I've seen 2 or 3 Hollywood and Bollywood films where they cut off the arm to survive and this and that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And yet to be able to think on your feet and design an arm. I mean, what are you saying? It's
So
amazing.
Cyrus, see, I just want to, share something. So यहाँ पर, see, it's not about what it takes. I think all of us have it, what it takes. I think in that situation you can't do anything else, right? वहाँ पे there is only one way. मतलब like how we would have seen in Avengers and all that, right? There's only one way to survive out of a billion, right? I think यही एक तरीका था to do all of that. Like anything, if there would have been done wrong, right? मेरा अगर मैंने ब्लड लॉस कंट्रोल नहीं किया होता, आई वुड हैव डाइड ऑफ ब्लड लॉस. अगर मैंने ये सब कंट्रोल नहीं किया होता, देयर वर सो मेनी वेज ऑफ नॉट सर्वाइविंग दिस. तो तरीका एक ही था, because I could, just good thing was everything came to me at that time,
And your
with the
mind
right
never
spirit.
faltered. Your mind never faltered. It was your mind was still clear in spite of the trauma, the pain, the anxiety of all this happening and not happening. Your mind was clear.
Yeah, thankfully.
That's what I'm saying. That's the amazing part of this whole story. And you think of people who just get injured slightly, say a cricketer on a field or something, and they can't think straight for the next 15-20 minutes. But really, I mean, that's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable what you can do and what your mind has done. Literally, your mind has just saved you all the time. I hope Potato is grateful. Uh, I must say, the
he he
Labradors do love
he
water.
is
There's no doubt. Yeah.
he he is super sweet, as in he is entirely worth of everything, right? So
100%, no question. You've gone up in my book so high, you have no idea for what you have done, and not to mention your fantastic talent. I mean, that alone is enough. Okay, I'll be sounding like your mom if I praise you anymore. Let's move on. Let's bring in as we take a small break here. We'll bring in Silvery, who is also known for his courage. Recently, he stopped a biker and told him not to beat him up. Uh, Silvery, can you
wow.
come? Yeah, here he is, sweetie.
Hey, hello, hi, good morning. Hi,
Hi,
Mudit. How are you
good
doing?
morning. Good morning.
Hi,
Uh,
doing
Uh,
well.
Shawvik is already, just before we take the formal break, Shawvik
yeah,
has said, not all heroes wear capes. Salute uh,
yeah,
to you.
yeah, absolutely.
Udit, this is one of our regulars. Immediately, you made an impression. Normally, when the guest comes on, they just go off. I got to tell you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Let's take a break and listen to this video, which is expertly provided by I don't know who.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. Khel Niti completes 200 episodes. Rajiv Mishra, Nikhil Chopra and Rajkumar Sharma discuss the final test match between India and South Africa. They also talk about whether or not Virat will return as captain. On Think Fast, Varun and Suchita dig into Apple's $3 trillion market cap and Bezos' Chirag Din uncle look for New Year's Eve. On Raw and Organic, Kunal talks to pole fitness trainer and flexibility coach Joanna Michelle. On Pesa Vesa, Anupam finds out how REITs are beneficial from Vinod Rohira. He's the CEO of Mindspace Business Park REIT. And on Filter Coffee, Karthik talks to sports journalist Pradeep Magazine about his new book, Not Just Cricket. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. We really do appreciate the word of mouth. Also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms that you're listening to us on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. And we are also on YouTube. On YouTube, you can check out our various channels on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and CoinSwitch Kuber. Thank you for making this possible.
All right, if you just joined in, we're talking to Mudit Dandwate, and of course, he's the CEO and co-founder at Dozee. But that's not all he is. There's much more to it. He has invented everything from electric cars, and he's
Yeah,
got a story of valor and heroism, which is unmatched. Honestly, I'm trying to think of Sher Shah Suri fighting a tiger, or I can't think from historical perspective of who will compare to such a story. It's amazing, and the fact that what happened after that, which is almost even more amazing. I'm sure
absolutely.
we're going to get lots of
But
comments and questions
yeah,
about that.
Mudit, were you not afraid of passing out when it happened? Like through blood loss, through pain? Uh,
So, Antarish, good thing is that one of my favorite subjects is actually neurotrauma and how brain reacts in such situations. So, actually, I had read up a lot पहले से ही, on all of this. तो मुझे सब कुछ पता था what could happen at every given point.
oh,
Passing out was a very real chance. उसके
hmm,
लिए to engage my own brain, right? तो आपका brain pass out होता है when especially you have done things. So then it helps you कि थोड़ा pain soothe करने के लिए it asks you कि थोड़ा relax, right?
hmm.
But I knew that is a recipe of disaster, so I was engaging it more. तो मैं गाना गा रहा था, मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया and all that, right? So
Oh
I was
my
trying to
God, are you
keep
serious?
myself engaged
Wow.
as much as possible, and distract myself from pain क्योंकि मतलब obviously I was not going to get morphine for a good amount of time. So how to
Ah,
distract and not get carried away with the pain and all of that.
I,
Wow.
it's incredible. And firstly, I didn't even know there were crocodiles in the swamps of Bangalore like that. That are
Yeah,
still
I
there.
didn't know that either, found out the hard way.
Okay.
Man,
Oh, you're
it's
very, very
so
sporting man, I must tell
yeah,
you.
very sporting. Exactly. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
But
Hmm,
I
hmm.
mean, I can't believe this is what we are not understanding here. What we are understanding is your genius, obviously, and your fantastic mind. That you're heroic. We understand that also. But how you're able to establish the at the right time using the right thought process. That's another gift altogether. Ki right now, I have to live in the moment and think of how to stop the blood supply. The blood, let the blood supply continue. Those kind of things. When everybody else, as Silvery pointed out, will be thinking of all kinds of other things. You're able
Yeah.
to focus and get to the exact specific thought process that will keep you alive in that particular thing. But that's another ability altogether, getting the right thought at the right time.
Yeah, then I would say it's something. Maybe some forces did help me out. At that point, of course,
Don't mention
the
Patanjali
nature,
now.
the nature wanted me to survive, right? So gave me all the right energy
Yeah.
at that time.
And adrenaline takes over a little
Wow.
bit, but that can't be for long. I mean, a little bit, I guess. And then, I mean,
Yeah.
2 hours in a car after, oh God, wow, what a story. Anyway,
Wow.
let's see if Ekta Kapoor doesn't call you for the rights and Rohit Shetty doesn't take it and change it into a 5 guy story and not just you, then me and Silvery will make the movie. Silvery will have to
Uh,
shave if you're playing Mudit. Huh? He's clean shaven.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Will do. Will do. Yeah.
Huh.
Uh,
I can't play it. I
oh,
can play the crocodile because I'm too old to play him. That's the only problem.
Mudit,
Uh,
what's your dog's name? And is he still around?
potato.
Oh, he said.
Potato.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
सुनता नहीं साला
अरे
खुद का है
sometimes.
जो पॉडकास्ट सुनता नहीं
Sometimes,
mentioned clarified in proper details a long
yeah.
5-minute conversation just on that.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
there are 2 doggies. Go ahead. Is
Very
there
cool.
anything you want to ask before we go to AMAs?
I mean, we have tons of areas. I want to ask though, I want to comment. Wouldn't it be cool seeing Mudit on the next season of Shark Tank as one of the sharks? He is a
Yeah.
huge tech entrepreneur already, and so
Would you like
I
to
want
be on
see
that
that.
show, Mudit?
I'll put his name in.
Yeah. And I don't think I have done abhi itna kuch matlab to attract all that right now. Maybe, but
This
why not?
very thing,
Yeah.
Dozee, can go through the roof. I'm sure it
Yeah.
will go through the roof. I don't know what you're saying. You're being humble. I don't know what you're saying otherwise, because the demand supply situation, if you're looking at me and I'm telling you from personal, I'm 50 years old, so I have relatives who are all in their 70s and 80s. So please understand, all the people I'm around, we all can, and these are people who are affluent to some extent. I'm saying from us
So
downwards in the financial ladder, which is huge amount of population across North, South, West, East India. Just do the maths. Dozee is a
no, so
game changer, yeah.
I agree with you, right? इसीलिए मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता, right? That until I have not done that, my work is not over, right? इसीलिए मुझे कोई भी distraction तब तक नहीं चाहिए.
ग्लैमर श्यामर लेडीज तो बहुत है टेलीविजन की लाइन में भाई टेक माय नेम he's talking wife is sleeping in the next bedroom by the way
Yeah.
नहीं,
be careful
serious कर रहा हूँ.
Nice. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Should we get to the AMAs?
yeah,
Yeah,
please.
quite a few. Yeah. The first one comes in from Girish Patil. He says, Mudit, by any chance, are you related to our ex-finance and railway minister Madhu Dandwate? I guess not. That's just a joke question. I guess you're not.
That was an extra
Yeah.
A. Danda.
No, as in apart from sharing the name, the last name, but maybe somewhere the family history links, as in I'm not really sure about that.
Well, let's put it this way. Uh, the politician will be more proud being related to the innovator than the innovator to be related to the politician. Although we don't know Madhu
No,
personally, so we shouldn't say anything
he
bad.
was he was
Yeah,
quite a good personality, quite a
yeah,
great personality. Yeah,
apparently, yes,
yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah,
then keep in mind,
Dandwate.
today
Dandwate is a great.
modern day political standards are very low, Mudit. So many of them are looking very good now. जो गया जमाना
That's
का है.
true.
Yeah,
हाँ, वो है.
go
All
on.
right, Girish also has another comment. He says, "I was working as a vet in India near Goa Maharashtra border, and had a lot of crocodile attacked animals to treat. Bravo and kudos to you for saving a pet." Oh, yeah,
See how
very good.
Thank
little we know of
you.
the country. That
Yeah.
Goa, Maharashtra,
Yeah.
these are states that border us as Mumbaikars, I'm saying, and not really aware that they were. And I'm an animal lover of sorts, and not really aware about so many crocodiles. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks a lot, Girish, for wonderful service, right? For saving so many, pets of the attacks and all that, right? We of course don't want attacks to happen, but that's the nature, right? But thanks for helping them survive. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's true.
Also, now this man-animal conflict, not just
That is,
crocodiles, but everywhere in our part of the world is more with the poor leopards. But what are we going to do? It's a really scary thing. They have nowhere to go, and I
yeah.
don't know how that's going to end. I'm thinking that we should clear one state. I won't take the name and keep all our animals there happily. Okay, I won't take the name of the
Hmm.
state, but we can clear
Yeah,
one state, huh? I mean, you
that,
guys
that's
have a
a
suggestion what the state is? You tell me. Go ahead.
no. So that's
You
a
you take
great
the
way to
name.
put it. Because for
Uh,
everyone, the state will be different, right? A little bit. Some
Oh
people will want
no!
some other
I don't.
state.
I
Some
think it'll
people
be
want some
two,
other.
three states.
Yeah,
ज़्यादा नहीं है
yeah.
इसमें.
2-3 states,
I think
correct. 2-3
we're
states.
looking at 2-3 in the finals. I
That's
put it this
true.
way: it's not Kerala, for example. It's clearly it's going to be just 2 or 3. Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Next one.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
This one comes from Kashin Shetty. Very interesting question. He says, "Hi Mudit. Since Dozee also studies sleep patterns, have you noticed any common habits in our poor sleep habits? Also, any advice for people who can't sleep for more than 6 hours?"
Yeah, so there are many common things, right? So including, some of those we found that, especially in last 2 years, we have seen that, people, so our general stress trends and sleep patterns went for a toss. People are getting up much later, which is, against the circadian rhythm, and also sleeping for lesser duration thanks to, rise of Netflix and many
No
other
discipline. That
OTTs
no
also.
discipline issue के ऊपर
Yeah,
नीचे हो
yeah.
जाते पूरा हाँ.
Correct. Correct. So एक वो है and दूसरा so people who can't sleep for more than 6 hours, right? As in they should so एक advice नहीं दे सकते सबके लिए दूसरा दूसरा as in different things. But one thing which is definitely there is tiring yourself physically a bit helps. So go for your morning runs, expose yourself to sunlight in the day. That helps you a lot in the night, right?
Hey
वो
Silvery,
अच्छा रहता
सुना? Sunlight in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah, my
Sunlight is not
window's
a
open. My window's open.
sun.
It's cool.
Sunlight is not a biscuit or an oil. It's actually something. You go and see it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Will do. Okay, nice. Thank you for that. Next one comes in from Saptarshi Chakrabarti. He says, "Great Mudit. How do you see the technology to be adapted by smaller healthcare setups in future, and who are the target audience as healthcare is migrating from urban to rural, making healthcare civilized?"
Yeah, so see, good thing with technology is technology doesn't discriminate, right? Big and small and all of that, right? So a small hospital can start treating like a big hospital when they adopt technology, right? And that's what we have seen multiple folds even with our setup as well, right? And that's what gives them a competing edge. मतलब पहले ये होता था you required a big investment to actually give services like a huge setup, a branded setup, but with different financing model, with technology adoption, even smaller setups can give a quality service as well. And the same goes with rural as well, right? So as the good thing is in technology like ours, the only thing which is required is apart from willingness to adopt is power and internet. And with the boom that we have seen in India, right, power is available most of the places, internet is also there. So yeah, we can work anywhere as an urban, rural, doesn't matter. In fact, even today as well, our 50% penetration is in non-urban areas, right? If not rural exactly, but like in small towns like Jagdalpur, Sikkim, and all of these places as well, we have done and penetrated there.
Yeah, and we have lost two people that I know in the last 2 years from what I call I won't say urban poor, but urban. See, in urban India, there's some people who are affluent and some people are less affluent, and some people are very less affluent. And when you go into
Correct.
very less affluent, they almost have no chance because they can't afford anything. And,
Correct.
and that's where your thing is just going to be a real breakthrough. Because for them, there's honestly, it's vulgar the way the situation is that the person's father is dying and they can't do much about it. They just can't, and then they are
Agree.
at the mercy of a public hospital. And between you and me, sometimes they are not always bad, but sometimes you get what you get. It's a horrible situation. But I want to ask you one question before the AMA comes up again, and that is your car thing. Why are you going to go into the electric car market? I mean, you've already gone above that with a racing electric car. So have you thought of that? Because I think wouldn't that be the next big revolution?
Of course, that is right, and yeah, that was a possible. But we started almost 5 years back. At that time, I thought this is a more and well placed thing. Secondly, it is also much lesser components. Right, car is a beast. मतलब हम थोड़ा हल्के में लेते हैं कार को, but a car is basically thousands of components, right? And they are very specialized, well regulated, and all of that as well. Right? It takes a long time for bringing it to market. तो मैंने सोचा पहला product जो होगा that should be thoda easier to get to the market in terms of manufacturing and all of that. Of course, healthcare itself is tough. Then I don't want to add more things over there. Yeah.
Don't worry, Anand Mahindra is a good friend. I'm going to make sure he calls you in 15 minutes after the health minister also calls you. So you're going to have to take a lot of calls. Huh? Be careful.
Yeah, my
You're
number
ready.
is
It's
still on.
anniversary,
Yeah.
beta. Anniversary, yeah. Yaad rakho.
Prithvi has a related question. He says, an idea for India. Any possibility of making an electric public transport system because we don't need cars on the non-existent roads in our metro cities?
Yeah, of course.
Non-existent roads are lovely. The cynicism. Welcome.
हाँ तो हमें I think India is a land of big possibilities, right? अभी मुझे मतलब I see that there are so many things which can be done, of course, and where we can just make a big difference. I think this big wave which is changing now, entrepreneurship and everything, I think that is very good and helpful for India. And yes, we will together solve a lot of issues, right? And करेंगे कुछ. क्या solution है मुझे नहीं पता. Problem है तो solution निकल सकता है.
Also, this is a public issue answer. I mean, he's the inventor and the entrepreneur, but this will have to come more from government side completely because it lies in their court. And we are still waiting for the metros in Mumbai to be completed, which in 2021
May not
was
be
supposed to be.
Cyrus. I am not. Yeah, I am not entirely sure about that, right? मुझे नहीं लगता. मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है इंडिया का जो नया मॉडल है, right? It is very to certain extent it's good. That now it is following a model of private innovation and public infrastructure, which is the model of going about it, right? बहुत scalable model है ये, क्योंकि innovation आप age old industries से नहीं करवा सकते, right? Innovation नया ही होगा. So I think at least that. Yeah.
So the age old industry have to be retired. There's a second meaning.
Like
in
new
that.
players come.
नहीं
Like
उनको
only
उनको
new players.
infrastructure बनाना है,
Only the players
उनको
come, yeah.
infrastructure बनाना है to enable, right? जैसे कि UPI बना उसके बाद you have so many fintech players taking it to masses. So innovation so infrastructure is public, but innovation and the GTM is private, right? And it's a very good model.
Would you say that's slightly more American model also?
No, it's a very Indian model. American model is private infrastructure, private GTM and
everything
innovation.
private. Yeah.
Yes, Indian model is this
and then
one,
phone
right,
call
which
to
is-
government. And then phone call to government. Yeah. Still different.
Correct.
Okay. Next one.
Next one comes from Tejinder Jassal. He says, question for Mudit. What are some of the challenges you are facing to get this technology adopted by the healthcare providers?
So, one of the challenges itself is the industry. This industry is typically thoda slow moving, right? So, कुछ भी नया आप लेके भी आए हो, because and rightly so, right? People are dealing with as in life and death of people, right? As in आप कुछ नया बना लेके आए हैं, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो कल से use करना चालू कर देंगे. It takes some time, but with patience, even that also adoption happens, and we have seen a record adoption, by the way. Now, in last 1 year we got adopted in more than 280 odd hospitals. Right, it's a huge growth, and in next 1 year we are expecting 10x of that. So bilkul hoga, right? Once we are at it, there is no issue whatsoever.
So there's no really obstacle in the sense you're saying, just like with the vaccine, you've got to, these things have to be tested in a sense. And so they will
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
little skeptical till they feel confident. So there's no
Correct,
actual
correct,
overtly aggressive behavior towards this new technology coming in and all. It's just that
correct,
they need some
correct.
time to absorb it, which is, as you said,
So they
acceptable.
need time, they need कि आपने सारे regulatory approvals follow किए हैं या नहीं, which we have,
Hmm.
right? तो हमारे पास आज as an ISO 27001, 13485, FDA also, right, which are global standards. We are doing all of that, right? So that to show कि although India के लिए है, India के लिए पहले है, लेकिन we are following nothing less than global standards by any means, right? And then
So
people love it.
I'll simplify for Tejinder and other people out there, which is basically it's like my marriage. You have to first get to know each other, sort of. So it's a little slow in the beginning. Now it's really
Correct,
slow, but that won't happen to your business because I'm sure that
correct.
model is better. So yeah, it's just testing the water. Fair enough.
Sure.
Okay, sir. Aage ji.
All right. Next comes in from Hemisha Marolia De Silva. She asks,
Another
Mudit,
regular.
being an IITian, yeah, one of the regulars. She says, Mudit, being an IITian, did you frequent the Maddu mess?
Very frequent, right?
Tell
बिल्कुल
us about it.
मतलब हाँ. So there's this so great thing about IIT Bombay somehow is कि आपको हमेशा खाने के लिए कुछ ना कुछ होता है. So till 1 a.m. you have some canteens. Most of the canteens are open. 1 बजे से 4 बजे तक एक हमारी स्पेशल कैंटीन है वो ओपन रहती थी, और 4 बजे के बाद there was a mess outside our 5 point gate. That is called Maddu mess, मतलब most unhygienic. I should not say that probably.
Yeah, dude, it's a mess. It
But
can't do
yeah,
anything.
it's a mess.
Yeah,
But क्या
yeah,
tasty खाना मिलता है, मतलब one of the best
of course.
vadas and egg dosa
Really.
that you can find
Who's
maybe. Or
so somebody's cooking
yeah,
at that time?
अरे yeah,
Wow.
and cooking
But
so well.
that's
So
very lucky
Hemisha
though,
was
huh?
in
Because
IIT or
normally
just
mess
married to?
food
Huh.
is terrible. Normally, mess food is famously
नहीं
bad,
नहीं,
famously not
it's
tasty.
called
But
mess.
this is
It's
very-
called mess, लेकिन वो 4 a.m. mess है,
Ganda.
right? So it is,
हाँ.
Oh,
yeah,
अच्छा.
it's a niche. वो आप इतने भूखे होते हैं आपको कुछ भी अच्छा लगेगा उसमें.
Correct. That's true.
And
Yeah.
the greatest minds of India are hanging around at 4 a.m. God knows what they're doing. Not all of them
Yeah.
are inventing things. Let's be honest. 4 baje बैठ के. So Hemisha, if you can
Alright.
just tell us what's your IIT connection though? Are you an IITian?
Yeah.
Are you married to an IITian? Or do you adopt an IITian? We don't know.
Or are you sending family members into IIT or something? I don't know. That's the
Forcing them to
Or
join
are you-
IIT.
Yeah.
Mudit
Are
was
you running
Mudit
the
was fooled.
Maddu mess?
Yeah,
Are you
are you
running
from
Maddu
Kota?
mess?
Are you
My
from
brother
Kota
and
that knows
husband both
everything about IIT?
IITians. Poor thing. Look
Oh,
at
wow.
the story.
Yeah, wow.
So imagine when they come back home, they immediately tell her that they want food at 4 a.m. because of this Madhu mess conditioning.
Yes.
I can understand her pain.
Wow.
All right, next one.
Next one comes from Girish Patil again. He says, if Mudit's crocodile story is to be made into a film, who would you like to see as the lead?
Let's ask him that. Who should
Yeah.
play you, yaar?
Like,
Is
बनने
there some
वाली है. At some point, this is definitely going to happen.
100%. Not to
Yeah,
mention his whole story is interesting. That is a great drama,
Absolutely.
but there's lots
Yep.
before and after.
I thought we had an agreement, right? You were auditioned, you were just fine. I think only giveaway is your hairline, जो कि तो treatable
वो तो
है,
जाएगा
तो
बेटा.
आपको-
Mudit, by the time we start the first day of shooting, hardly anything will be left. डरने का नहीं about that. Don't worry. My big point
And we
here.
also
and
No, but
no, answer this question. The female lead is your wife, the character rather. Who will play that? Now that be very careful who you answer. Very careful with your sharp IIT brain. I'm giving you a test here. Who do you choose to play the heroine? Okay, so Silvery is the hero, let's say.
So
That's
of
okay.
course he also has a say, लेकिन maybe Sonakshi is, yeah, maybe because she comes from kind of similar.
End of the day.
we understand who Mudit has a crush on now. Nice.
Yeah, quietly, yeah. We've solved it.
So Nakshi is
God forbid it.
Yeah.
BB has
And
shown
also,
paper,
what
I
a
think.
pull. He could have said any name from the entire
Yeah.
industry. He said Sonakshi Sinha. Wow. Okay, that's a very particular answer.
I thought no, he has to be careful. See, the wife must look glamorous in her eyes
Yeah.
also, yet not too glamorous, but then it
That's
looks
true.
like he's got a crush. So he's got to find
That's
that
true.
middle path. You have to see the
That's
thinking has
Cyrus,
not.
Oh, so
should,
you're
I
saying
should
he's thought
say
about this answer?
too much
Is what
analysis.
Yes.
Cyrus is saying.
Wait. मुझे बोलो आप तो बोलो आप तो बोलो.
Cyrus,
बोलिए
too
बोलिए.
much
हाँ.
analysis over there, right? Too much analysis.
Sir, 2 साल की शादी है 2 साल. You have no idea. You can't make mistakes first 3-4 years. After that, it's only mistakes. I'm warning you right now. You have no idea. But Sonakshi, Silvery is very happy. Huh? Silvery?
No, but realistically, yeah, I like
Huh.
Sonakshi, man. It's pretty cool. But realistically, who would you like to play as you? Not me. If I'm not available, my dates are taken. If say, which won't happen. But
See, the biggest animal lover in the industry is John, I would say.
Yeah.
So he would be one definite candidate because he would go to save his dogs, and also not hate a crocodile, to have that magnanimity to understand after the event.
Yeah.
That's not
And
everybody.
Girish
I'll
Patil
also be
said-
motivated, and
That's
I'll also be
cool.
motivated to then थोड़ा gym out for, मतलब उसके जैसा मुझे दिखना पड़ेगा, वो तो मेरे जैसा क्या ही
Your,
दिखेगा.
your greatness is not in Dole Shole, just for item number purposes, yaar. And Girish has, by the way, he wants Rajkumar Rao. I
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
that's a great idea. हाँ यार, वो अच्छा idea. I love Rajkumar Rao. Yeah,
ठीक
his
है.
movies.
John is gone out of the window.
Yeah.
MBA, I tell you. MBA loses to, I don't know, Rajkumar Rao is probably not IIT, but he's also probably well educated. All right, that's done. Let's move to the next one.
Sure. Tarun Kaushik has a question. He says, which I think we already know the answer to though. But Tarun asks, "Hey Mudit, your crocodile story is inspiring. Has it made you somewhat averse to animals?"
Absolutely not. तो मैंने बस इसका चेक भी किया था. So I actually went to even Boston में there was an aquarium. So I
Crocodile
went
farm.
near a
Oh.
crocodile farm कि मुझे कुछ उसका effect तो नहीं आ रहा है, and it was nothing. It's okay. I take it.
Fantastic.
Wow. Yeah.
Amazing. You're amazing, man. And we're not saying this to chamcha you. You're just amazing.
Absolutely.
There's no question about that. And the fact that you remain humble, maybe you're not, maybe shokebaz, I'm great. Who knows?
नहीं.
Yeah, what a story. Really amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Next one.
Yep. This is just a joke statement, but Girish Patil says, Cyrus, what's your fascination with all the Padma awards? Was there a girlfriend named Padma who ditched you?
One day I was doing some show. Sorry, excuse me. Oh, cough Barcelona से इधर पहुंच गया. This is COVID. This is a new strain. He's bringing it in. And no, but I was doing one show maybe in Gurgaon somewhere, and somebody came on a thing and on the mic and said, "Sir, I think you should get the Padma Shri." I don't know if he was saying it tongue in cheek mostly, or he was actually being slightly complimentary, being drunk. But we're all having fun corporate event. After that, it went in my head. I said, "Why can't I get Padma Shri? What the hell?" Either you become like Munawar Farooqi and they isolate you and then you're stuck with opposition, or slowly you stay quietly irrelevant and you get the Padma Shri at some point.
But you should also understand, Shri Padma is a dude. It's not a woman.
That's true.
Yeah. So
that would
think about Padma Shri.
Yeah, but I'll change my name for money. I'll do anything for money. That's not a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Shit,
yeah,
yes.
so if by mistake this country gives me a Padma Shri or something close to that, that's the day you all start defecting. Okay, immediately. Get your bag packed. You stay in Barcelona, Mudit, no coming back. And Silvery or in Powai, keep going north. I will tell you when you cross to Macedonia.
Okay, done. Will do.
Then you'll be safe.
All right. Kshitij Tambe asks, what is the max depth of mattress that the product can be used with? Related to that, how do you take care of false positives and false negatives?
So the maximum size of mattress, we have tested it across all the available sizes available in India. So up till 24 inches we have tested, works perfectly well. 24 inches a huge mattress.
Who has a mattress that 24 inches?
I have a 14-inch mattress. तो मैंने पहले तो टीम को टास्क ये दिया था कि इसके ऊपर चलना चाहिए, तभी हम मार्केट डालेंगे. So it did work well on that. So 24-inch mattress that we tested, it works fine. About false positives and negatives, right? So what we have done over there, we have different smart algorithms which take care of the alarm fatigues and all of that, right? So that's a huge thing. We can't just keep on triggering ki heart rate itna ho gaya, itna ho gaya, itna ho gaya. It has a lot of trend analysis it does before it actually escalates that, right? So our false positives and negative rates are very much in the level where people get it in time also and believe it also. and it's a very sweet spot that we have to do, and it's done by training it across multiple data sets across tens and thousands of subjects.
I'm still getting over the 24-inch mattress. Mera ghar mein, my wife has about a 10-inch, 8-inch, whatever the normal mattress is, and I sleep on the board with no mattress next to her because she doesn't allow the mattress.
हाँ,
This
without mattress
24
भी
inch,
काम करता है.
24-inch mattress, this much somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't that
What
be
is-
bad for your back? I think it's just too much.
No, I was just answering कि range कितना है. I'm not, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है. I think
But
there
is
are
there a minimum
box
thickness
spring
required?
वाले. No.
Is there a minimum thickness
No,
required?
you can
Okay, no.
you can directly sleep on that also. Nothing.
Okay.
0 to 24, anything is fine.
Very educated question. I never look at, but that's why he said this sensitivity of the industry to accept the product. All this over a period of time, कि ये सब mattress ठीक है and all. Small issues, but for them key issues. For us, we don't even know. I'm still thinking, why don't I have a mattress? That's the difference. Next.
Follow up to that, Prithvi asks, how much does it cost and any discount for podcast listeners?
Yeah, I think it's on our website. वहाँ पर you can
What a
get it.
stupid
Of
question.
course.
Yeah.
He'll give discounts to people from all reasons except
Yeah.
this one. Any other reason, animal lover, poverty issues, struggling, majburi, whatever it is, but not this.
Hey, no, Cyrus, but you have to give it to people. People are living through this, last 1 hour. Doesn't why not for this
They
surviving
have a very
this?
inspirational story, sir. Normally, in 10 minutes, they put it off and go straight to adult content on the phone, which is what we're going to change. We're going to change this show to that soon. Shall you take one or two more quickly?
Sure. A couple more.
It's
Yeah.
only 6:30 in the morning for him, Bichara. Don't forget.
Yeah.
He's
sure,
got a whole
yeah.
day ahead of him. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Bruce Wayne asks, AMA for Mudit, how do you take care of managing privacy of user data collected and stored by Dozee? Is it Disha compliant? DISHA compliant?
Hey,
So we'll
firstly,
pretend
I
to
am
know
very
what it is.
humbled to get a. Yeah, I'm very humbled to get a question from Bruce Wayne in the first place.
This is now the
Thinking
podcast
of
at its
investing.
best,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yeah, Clark Kent
Yeah,
was also
this
there.
is-
For some
yeah.
reason, he's left. Yeah.
This is
Sometimes he joins us
dream
Batman.
coming true.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, we take it very seriously. By the way, user privacy and data is ultra critical. So we follow ISO 27001 standards. Doji is certified for that, which is a global standard for data privacy, security, cloud infrastructure, and so on. So it's the best that happens. And yes, of course, we also follow the Disha guidelines as well. So by the way, Disha is basically Indian government's HIPAA version, to put it in a nutshell, for data security and privacy as well.
Silvery, I knew
which,
this.
yeah.
I was just checking if you knew this, and now you know this.
Yeah.
This is
Correct,
important.
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, correct.
I'll ask you next show after 2 days. What is Disha? So just remember.
Yeah, Disha is direction also. हम किस दिशा में जा रहे हैं?
बहुत बढ़िया.
हाँ. I have
One last.
Alright, last one comes from Tejinder Jasal again. He says, Tejinder has all these business-related proper questions, like how they would ask again.
He's
Shark Tank.
mistaking
I
this
think it's-
podcast for.
Yeah. Like, should I invest or not?
Yeah.
So his question is, who are the early adopters of Dozee and what's your segmentation and targeting? This is proper Shark Tank
Wow.
question.
यार ये अपना intellectual
So-
capacity से ऊपर है अभी.
So early adopters of Dozee are, of course, hospitals, right? So we have two versions of product. One which is for hospital facing. It is called Dozee Pro. वो hospitals use करते हैं for creating connected HDU, connected beds, kind of a way, which are ICU के बाद जहाँ monitoring देनी होती है तो वहाँ पर they use it. Secondly, people use it at their home, and the people who use it are, as I mentioned, chronic illness patient, like heart conditions, elderly people, and so on. And these are typically, kids using it also to, get an access of their parents' data, which they can also share it with their doctors and so on, right? So that's our segmentation and how we are penetrating the market.
Wow, it's been a fabulous episode, but I want to just, before we end, ask you one very important question. बीवी तो है या नहीं है? Is she awake?
Yeah.
Room में.
Yeah.
Can we say hi to her?
अच्छा, you are saying is she awake? No, no chance. अभी तो बिल्कुल नहीं. 8 बजे.
So
30.
कोई fictitious बीवी तो नहीं है ना? तू स्पेन चला गया, बार्सिलोना में कोई है? I'm getting worried now with this inventor brain. If you could go to the illegal, immoral side, that same. If you mentioned Bruce Wayne, the same superpowers can be used to something else. You have to be a little careful about that. Okay,
Yeah.
Mudit, we won't bother you anymore. I know it's early morning in Barcelona when we record this, but thank you so much for what you've done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your story. I think all those listening have been actually, this is the kind of story that people can think about all day and say, this guy is something special. I want to be like him. Really fabulous, great stuff. And please, we want to hear about more success and more innovations of yours. So whenever you feel free and you're in India at normal time, please let's talk again.
Surely. Thanks a lot, Cyrus. Thank you.
And what are you
thanks
doing
for
today for the
inviting me for
anniversary?
something.
Ye batao, because now we can
Ah.
even check later. Are you going for some special dinner somewhere in Barcelona?
I'm planning one dinner at Montserrat, which is, one very amazing, interesting hill nearby. So we are going there by a special train.
Yes.
So that's the plan
Wow.
so far.
Wow.
Oh, very
Okay, all right. Are you meeting any girls? Oh, sorry. Okay, anniversary. Sorry. Oh, just kidding. Yeah, have a good day, Mudit. See you.
Yeah.
Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.